So I'm out in Phoenix right now, and this is a place called Desert Ridge Hotel, I guess, and they call Phoenix. I think Robert Kiyosaki always said it could be heaven and it could be hell. And right now it's summertime out here, so it's hell. But the weather isn't so bad this morning since it's, I guess it's about 85 degrees. But it was interesting. I got to see Robert Kiyosaki yesterday and Kim Kiyosaki, and they're not together anymore, but they got together to come out here on stage, and I thought maybe it would be the last time that I would get a chance to actually see Robert. He's getting up there in age. I thought I'd take the time to come out and see him in this seminar. This is Ken McElroy's Limitless Expo, and he does with Tarl Yaber, I think his name is, and they put together a really great seminar talking about a lot of different aspects of wealth creation. And this is something that I started doing as a kid. I was probably 20 to 30 or something like that, and I would go down to Jim Blanchard's Gold Conference down in New Orleans for a couple years in a row, which was a really great education and great exposure, and that ended up being very profitable for the money that you spend on coming to these seminars and conferences and the people that you can meet. I didn't do, I probably didn't do this conference justice because it's been a long time since I've been to them, and I didn't realize, I forgot how upscale can be, and this one actually is very upscale. I didn't realize the extent of what I was getting involved in, and everybody's dressed really nice, and I'm sort of dressed down a bit. So since I like to travel light, I really didn't bring too many clothes. I'm wearing the same thing every day, but nonetheless, everybody is super friendly and receptive. Um, but the information you get at these seminars is really very worthwhile for you to actually grow in your specific interests. Because you can find something from last night. I went to one that was brand building. The one before that was maybe gas and oil exploration. They had everything from obviously to doing multifamilies because that's Ken McElroy's specialty. So, and I think this morning one's on gold or silver. So, if you ever get a chance and you want to actually, step up your game a little bit and explore these type of things, the people are out there, and they're so receptive to talk to. If you can actually just, and you don't have to pin them down. You just basically you question people and ask whether or not they're players and what game that you may be interested in, and then maybe you can pursue an idea with them, because even what you have in the exhibitors hall, there must be, I think there's 7 exhibitors, and Ken really screens these people quite well, so that they have to have some type of background and or success in order to be on that floor. And it was funny because they even have people that are actually fitting you up for suits, so you can actually be nicer dressed the next time you come to this place. But yeah, I understand that Trump stays here when he comes out to Phoenix, and I could see why. It's got like 8 restaurants or something like that. I haven't really explored the whole place, um, but the conferences start, or the lectures start, like 8:30, and obviously I'm just trying to get used to the time difference. I'm only here for 3 or 4 days, but yeah, if you get a chance, these are some really things that you're gonna want to explore. They do. Rick Rule does them in Miami, and then you have I forget the dude's name, but he does a great one up in Vancouver, VCR. I think I'm probably going to each one of those this year. I've started exploring a little bit more, because these conferences just involve a lot of walking, and I probably hasn't mentioned it before in any of the YouTube videos, but I've had a hip injury for a while now, and I'm trying to do it fix myself holistically. So getting around these conferences, I mean, you're walking miles a day. It's just crazy. When you talk about 10,000 steps, you certainly would get them in here, just actually going from, obviously your room down to getting dinner, then breakfast, back to your room, and then down to the conference and walking around the exhibitors hall. So yeah, if you get a chance and this is something that you can afford to do, I mean, there's probably a lot of things that you could do before you get to these steps. Obviously, maybe you want to be familiar with the people that you're going to see, and you could read the books on them. And and like I said, I'm here because Robert Kiyosaki was going to be here, and Ken McElroy, and these are people that I follow on YouTube all the time. So it was of special interest to me to actually do something like this. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and yeah, have a nice weekend.